The hell do you have sunglasses on?
Well, because we're recording and it's still daylight outside, so I had to go full rock star.
The sun's down.
Well, but it's still bright.
Oh.
You know I'm a night guy. If there's sun, I need something to cover my eyes. I'm part vampire.
Wow. They put up one of those and they sell a beer that they brew specifically for the team, which is cool.
Does it taste like grass and regret?
No, it actually tastes like...
Who was surprised that Bud Light chose the image of a trans person when it has been water pretending to be beer for years?
Yeah.
Anheuser-Busch, if you are listening, we will gladly accept a sponsorship. I think I picked a little bit too big smoke for tonight. This thing is massive.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we are the Smokey Guys. This is the Smokey Guys Podcast. I'm CR Parsons.
I'm Kevin Price.
And we are back again in Kevin's backyard, enjoying this lovely weather that we're having for a few minutes until it starts getting ridiculously hot.
Yeah, one of the 3 days of spring we have in Oklahoma.
Exactly.
Maybe we can get one of the other two, and we can, or maybe two of the other two, we can go over to our producer's house and raid his back porch.
He has a nice back porch.
Yeah,
Maybe we can even get him on camera if we do it in his back porch.
There's always a chance.
You never know. You never know.
I just hate to invite myself. I'm just not that type of person.
Oh, well, see, you know better with me because I invite myself over here all the time.
You guys are always welcome.
All right. Speaking of our producer, you've just heard his voice, maybe, if he was loud enough. That was our good buddy, Kevin Schultz. What are you smoking on tonight, Kevin?
What is it? Liga Privada. What is it? Not the number 9, but the H99.
H99. And you, sir?
I am doing one of my absolute favorites, the Espada from Monte Cristo. That's the collab between them and Plasencia.
Mm-hmm.
So,
an absolutely spectacular smoke. In fact, that's what I had last time I was in Vegas. No, that was 2 times ago. That was 2 years ago when we went to Vegas. That's what I smoked. I'm going to get rid of the sunglasses. I guess it's dim enough I can do it.
Corey Hart would be disappointed in you.
I wear my sunglasses all the time.
What's up, kids?
We're getting raided.
Hey, we have our favorite puppy here, Miss Lucy. You may see her on screen here in a minute when she comes and bumps my elbow because I have not given her attention.
Right.
I'm smoking an Asylum 13. This is the Corojo. This is the big.
You want to go in?
That's the home record.
I mean, this is the make your jaw hurt cigar. Holy mackerel! I mean, I've smoked a lot of big cigars. The Carrillo Inch, great smoke, big cigar.
Yeah.
This is big.
That's a massive cigar. That is one that would definitely probably have your wife's eyes perk up to whip that thing out. What are you drinking on since you're taking a sip?
That is a good question. This is one you brought to me. I told you to bring me something dark and malty. And you brought me a 903 Sasquatch Vineyard wine-infused oak-aged stout. For a minute, I thought it said Coke-aged, and I was going to be real excited.
Totally different.
I was going to be real excited. No, it's a 903. It's their Sasquatch Vineyard stout. It's very good. I have been impressed with 903. Everything I've ever had from them has been good.
Same, absolutely one of my favorite breweries anywhere. It's in Sherman, Texas, and anytime I'm going to Dallas or down into Texas and coming back, and I'm passing through Sherman, I always stop and end up spending an afternoon there sampling all their different beers and bringing home a few different cases of whatever. I'm actually finishing off something I started before you guys got here. This is their Pretzel Day Stout, which is pays homage to The Office, the pretzel episode.
Yes.
Where Michael Scott goes down to get his pretzel, and by the time he gets through the line, he's afraid they're out of pretzels, and he asks the guy, he's like, can I still get a pretzel? And he says, yeah. He's like, which one do you want? He's like, well, can I get all of them? And so all the flavors of pretzels. Well, this thing has like 16 or 18 different ingredients in it.
Oh my goodness.
And you'd think it would like be way overbearing.
Right.
But it's absolutely not. It's really crazy how it strikes that perfect balance between sweet and salty and just a great beer.
You know, sweet and salty go so well together in general.
Yeah.
And salty and beer go well together in general. I mean, that's why so many people salt rim their beer bottles, because they just go well together.
That one, man, right on the nose. Whenever you first drink it, well, you get a lot of that chocolate, and it just really hits you. And then as you drink, you taste the pretzel, and you taste all those things. They just kind of all separate, which is really cool. And I've been to other breweries where they brew beers that do the same thing, like Abita down in Abita Springs, Louisiana.
Yeah,
they do a Neapolitan beer that is crazy how it comes in with vanilla, and then it changes over the palate. It changes to chocolate and then strawberry, and it just kind of does that. And of course 903, I brought this one out too. They do a Neapolitan version of the or a stout version of the Neapolitan, which kind of does the same thing. It's just really cool how you get that they're able to layer it. And I don't know how that all works. I'm sure it's science, and I don't mind doing things for science, and so I'll taste test it all day long to figure it out.
There you go. There you go.
Maybe we should have a brewer on sometime to talk to us about how you get that.
Gosh, if only we knew a brewer
or three
that was actually funny and fun to hang out with, and
just have to keep searching.
Could be on camera.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe a family member like an aunt or an uncle.
You think? Maybe, possibly. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if we can talk them into it.
We've got a good buddy here in town who is a stand-up comedian, and he has gotten into brewing over the last few years and has done an amazing job with the brewery he's with. And so we need to talk him into coming out. He
can tell us all about how that stuff works. But it's nice to see him have a steady job that he really enjoys and loves. And
It is. Well, I know last episode, or last two episodes, considering I had to split them up, was a long one. And so I did not plan anything special for this episode.
Okay.
I didn't plan a talking topic. This is going to be one of those where we just talk about what's going on. And so, whatever comes up.
Kind of a current events episode, if you will.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's going to be 2 weeks late, but
that's
for
all right.
Whatever's current. But I don't know about you, but I had an unbelievably busy week last week.
I did. Same. Man, trying to think back through all the days, I don't think I had a single evening where there wasn't something going on. And I think it made for a pretty exceptionally long week since we started off with a 2-hour podcast episode. That
is true. That is true. Of course, it was easier on me because I work from home. And so I don't necessarily have to get up first thing in the morning unless I've got a project that has to be done that morning. As opposed to our producer, who got stuck hanging out with us and then had to get up and go into the office and go to meetings first thing in the morning.
I like how he texted us at 6 o'clock in the morning trying to see if we were up. That was smooth. Very slick.
Yep. I texted him back 6 hours later.
Yeah? I think I texted him back about 30 minutes later because I actually did get up, but I went back to sleep. And then at lunchtime I went in and crawled into bed and took about a 30-minute nap. So it helped me get through the day. How was yours? Did you do okay?
I survived.
Okay.
That's about all I can say. I was dead, but I survived.
I keep thinking his wife is going to kill us one of these days because we keep dragging him out later and later at night, and she's an early to bed person.
Yeah.
Actually, probably quite the opposite.
She's probably glad. Yeah, so last week, let's see, we did podcast on Monday. Tuesday, I had soccer.
I don't remember what I had going Tuesday. I had something happening.
Wednesday was the fun night for me. It was soccer, but it was a different kind of soccer. We
ping pong.
We went to the. I did not catch that.
He said ping pong.
Ping pong. Yeah, it was ping pong.
Ping pong game.
But yeah, I think you guys went to Churchill's and had cigars. I went to the Tulsa Athletics versus the FC Tulsa soccer game.
Okay.
It was billed as Tulsa Derby. It was the second year in a row. So every year, the soccer season, the pro soccer season starts off with the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
Okay.
And so your first week, you have all these, like, I think level 4, 3, maybe level 4 and 5 level teams. They're kind of semi-pro, I guess is where you would put them in that category. Anyway, they all start off on the first week. And then the second week, they introduce in the second and third level teams. So your FC Tulsa, which is the division they're in, they're the second tier of U.S. soccer. So they introduce those teams. So they kind of get a bye the first week because they're higher level. Well, FC Tulsa plays in level 2. Tulsa Athletics play in level 4, and they were going up against each other. And last year, Tulsa Athletic only lost by 1 goal.
Oh wow!
So it was really a close game. It's like, wow, these guys could actually pull this off.
So that's like a college team playing a minor league pro team.
Basically,
like a what do they call the minor league pro teams? Are they 1A, 1B?
AA, AAA,
Okay.
yeah.
So that would be like a college team playing a AAA team or a
Yes.
AA team.
AAA team.
AAA team. And
Yeah.
so it's a big step
Yes.
for them to have gotten that close.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, yeah, anyway, they go through the game, and I believe at halftime it was 0-0, and so everybody's still really engaged. And the cool
Shocking, a soccer
yeah.
game 0-0 at halftime.
But the cool part of like Tulsa Athletic games to me is it's played in this little park right in the in the middle of Tulsa. There's this little place called Hicks Park. It's just a normal park like you go to play frisbee golf or something.
So it's not a stadium.
Not a stadium. They have like maybe the metal stands that are like 5 rows tall is all. I mean, they're not like these huge baseball stadiums or soccer stadiums.
It's a step up from Sandlot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking like anywhere north of the Mason-Dixon line high school football.
Yeah.
Because south of the Mason-Dixon line
It's
has
like,
stadiums.
Yeah.
But north of the, I can see that. Okay.
So they play in a city park.
Do they have concessions?
They
Because that's
do.
what I care about at any sporting event. Is the concessions.
So yeah, pretty basic stuff at the regular concession stand. They have your hot dogs, your Frito pie, some candies and stuff like that, and your hot chocolate and drinks and whatnot. Then they have one of our local brewers sets up an 8x8 tent or 10x10 tent. What are those things? Are the pop-up tents? They put up one of those and they sell a beer that they brew specifically for the team, which is cool.
That's cool.
That a non high level team has their own beer. It's kind of neat.
Does it taste like grass and regret?
No, it actually tastes like it tastes like a Corona, I guess. I mean, it's called Si Se Puede. Anyway, it's a Mexican lager. Very good, but they have that. And then this time we were kind of they had something special. So the team is co-owned by one of our local restaurateurs named Sonny D'Alessandro.
Okay.
Who owns D'Alessandro's Italian restaurant, which is phenomenal.
I know Sonny.
Well, they just happened to be there. They had one of those 10x10 tents up, and they were cooking Italian sausage.
Oh.
And yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
I shouldn't make that sound with this cigar in my mouth.
Right?
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. So it was a cool event, and plus, you can only cram so many people into that little bitty
I can
park
imagine.
area. And so it was cool to see how many people came out for it. It was packed. People were lined up on the outside even trying to watch, and it was a neat event. And Tulsa Athletics scored the only goal in the game and won, and so they get to move on, which it's kind of a daunting task. But the cool thing is they get to move on, and now they'll be playing an MLS team. So they're playing a pro team. I mean, the top of the tops.
Wow.
As far as soccer rankings, they're going to be playing Sporting KC up in Kansas City.
Okay.
And if you've never been, I guess I should say, Sporting KC has one of the best MLS stadiums I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It's phenomenal. It's just so professional. It's just like going to any other.
Bless you.
Bless you.
You couldn't hit the mute button for that?
Is there a mute button?
No, there's not.
So April 25th, it's a Tuesday. If you're in the Kansas City area, go cheer on Tulsa Athletic or Sporting KC, whoever
Very
you might
cool.
want to I think I'm actually going to drive up for it.
Are you?
I think me and the kiddo are going to jump in the car and just make a round trip out of it if we don't end up buying. I think they're going to do a team bus thing up there, and you can pay like $100 to sit on the bus, and we may do that.
That wouldn't be bad if you could drink on the bus.
You can bring coolers.
See, but you do that, you don't have to worry about drinking and driving. You
Exactly.
can just drink and ride and get to the game appropriately lubricated.
Yep. Sleep on the way back.
There you
catch
go.
a good nap.
There you go.
Get off the bus, do a podcast, call and wake Kevin up. It'd be great.
29th of April?
25th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's 29th, I wouldn't be able to make it.
No, the 29th of April, we have a big event. We've talked about what happened. Now we're going to talk about what is happening. Here in Oklahoma, we have a big event in Oklahoma City called Smokelahoma, which makes sense. It's all about cigars and horse racing. They do it at the horse racing track, Remington Park.
Yep.
Remington Park there in Oklahoma City. And this will be my first year to go. You would think, with as many years as I've been around and as many years as I've smoked cigars, that I would have gone to Smokelahoma. But I have managed to miss it every year. Some things come up, I just couldn't make it, wasn't that interested, whatever. But this year, I'm going.
Well, I'm not. I'll be in eastern Missouri playing shows that weekend. As much as I really wish I could go down there and join you fellas, I know it would be a whole lot of fun.
It will be. It will be. There are always a bunch of reps there for great cigars. I think Davidoff even sends a rep, which is big. If you go to cigar events, Davidoff doesn't show up at just any event. So this is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So y'all gonna rent an Airbnb, or are you gonna stay with some of our buddies that live down there?
I know Schultz is going to an Airbnb. I will probably stay with one of our buddies that owns one of the cigar bars there in town, and one of the what will be the after party. We'll do the after party downtown, and he owns that bar as well, and so I will probably go hang out at his 6,000 some odd square foot house. So
I'll be in a Hampton Inn.
It's gonna be fancy.
I will be probably hammered in because it's an open bar at Smokey.
Oh wow, that's very cool.
Yeah,
that should be a lot of fun. Well, I'll be up with our good buddy Hank Wilhelm and our other buddy Chris Welch playing music. Actually, this last weekend, I kicked off the weekend playing a show with Mr. Hank Wilhelm up at Shangri-La Resort. And I tell you what, we had a rowdy crowd, and it was awesome.
Did you?
Yeah, just a great crowd. They were all fun, having a good time. I'm not a big fan of when people ask for songs, but because usually they ask for something that I have no clue or I have no interest in playing. And depending on how much they tip, I may, play the song. But this time, man, they just asked for fun songs, and it was so much. So much fun to just hang out and
that's awesome
and do.
That's awesome.
Then on Saturday night we had a show.
Oh man, what a show! What a show! We were supposed to do 90 minutes of music, and I think we played a solid 3 hours.
Yeah,
and that was not the wildest part of the evening. The wildest part of the evening was one of the people that were there came out and sat and talked to me the entire time the opening act was on, while I was smoking a cigar. And I thought I was honestly going to have to turn down a blowjob. That's the way the conversation was headed.
Wow.
I had mentioned my wife no less than half a dozen times, and she kept on. And I'm like, you don't understand. I play a rock star on TV. I don't actually act like one.
And you guys you practically brought the house down.
Yeah.
Well, we burned the house down.
Somebody did.
Yeah, just around the corner there was a house that caught on fire. Apparently there were some homeless folks in there. What are they called? Squatting.
Yeah.
And they had either accidentally or on purpose lit it on fire. But yeah, we're 90% through with our set for the night, and all of a sudden flashing lights all over the place. No sirens.
That was odd.
That was weird. So fortunately, I have a wireless pickup for my bass, a wireless setup. So I was able to walk to the front door off stage and see what was going on while continuing to play, and was able to go back up and tell these guys what was happening.
Yeah, so we went into an impromptu version of George Strait's song, The Fireman.
Which, as a band, we had never played before, which is always fun.
We actually went really well, though.
Yeah, it did.
I thought we pulled it off.
We did. We didn't burn anything down with that one except for some guitar strings.
But that was a great night. It was a great show. Damaris always puts on a great show.
Damaris, look her up online. What's her last? Kunstler, something like that. Remind me when I go to edit this, and I'll try to remember to put her information in the area down below. As you can tell, I'm still learning how to do all of this stuff, and so you get to hear some of the behind-the-scenes stuff of when I go, don't let me forget to do that.
It kind of her music kind of reminds me of Amigo the Devil a little bit. Whenever you see him acoustic without a full band, it's very, very similar, like that, similar playing style and all that.
Yeah.
She writes some hilarious songs and just some great songs with great lyrical content.
Some very honest and open songs, which really are really cool. She's an open book in that respect, and she's amazing. She's from up in Kansas.
Yep.
And she comes down and opens for us occasionally, and it was her birthday.
Yeah.
It was her birthday Saturday night, so we got to celebrate her birthday with her and had a bunch of folks out, and we had a great time. It was one of the best shows we've done in a long time, and not lightly, in part to having imbibed a few drinks beforehand and a cigar beforehand, and then a shot of tequila before we walked up on stage, and then somebody immediately buying us shots.
We drank way too much.
There were at least 5 rounds of shots bought for us that night, and we played for 3 hours, so it wasn't overly ridiculous, but oh my gosh, most of those came within an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it was quite a night.
Luckily, I was not driving, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because that was... by the time I got home, I just hit the pillow and I was out. I literally just blacked right out. So did not wake up. It was.
But it was fun. We had so much fun, and the drummer and I were just in sync for some reason, and you were goofing around with us. So we did more just jams, just get a rhythm and bass beat going and just jam for a while, and we hadn't done that on stage ever. That was a lot of fun.
It was. That one I kicked into, it was funny because I just started playing something. I grabbed my electric guitar and just started turned on all my pedals, and I just started playing, and you and our drummer John both fell into a groove, and I look over at our lead guitar player, and he's just like bewildered, like what is going on right now?
What are we doing?
And so then
we do this when we practice. We don't do this on stage.
Then he starts playing something on top of it and everything, and I kind of walked over, got closer to him, and he goes, "What are you playing?" And I go, "I don't know." And he goes, "Well, it sounds awesome."
If only somebody had gotten video of the night, we could actually remember what the heck we did.
We were fortunate to have a great photographer come out, though. Tom Harris came out. And I can't wait to see the photos. They're going to be incredible.
You guys look up our photos from the band page, and if it's an amazing photo, Tom took it.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it, because you guys know what I look like. I mean, and you know what I sound like. So nobody would confuse me for a badass. But there is something about the way Tom takes pictures that makes me look like a badass rock star every time.
He has got an eye. I'm telling you.
There's something about it. It just amazes me. So big shout out to Tom, because he does a great job with that.
For sure. Well, waking up Sunday around noonish, got up and I was like, what are we going to do today? And my youngest runs in. He's like, Dad, let's go watch the new Michael Jordan movie. And I was like, why not? So I look it up and bought the whole family tickets and drug them out to the theater. And I got to tell you, man, Great movie.
Yeah.
It's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and the casting is awesome. But that story, I mean, we're older. We were there when Air Jordans came out.
Right.
I remember '84. I remember when all that was happening.
Yes.
And it's just so cool to see what that did to sports marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells that story. And the best part is the way they do it. It's not a spoiler for anybody, but you don't see that much Michael Jordan in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If he's there, he's kind of off screen.
Yeah.
He's always mentioned about, but it's really so the focus is not drawn towards him. It keeps the focus where it needs to be, which is on the shoe and about the story itself, and about Michael's mom, and about Sonny, the guy that brokered the deal, and Phil Knight, and that whole thing. And dude, and Howard, I can't remember his last name. Anyway, that whole thing and how it all came together, and how Michael wanted nothing to do with Nike. He was like, nope. He was like, I'm gonna be an Adidas guy, and Converse would be the backup, and this and that. And he didn't even want to take a meeting with Nike at all.
Wow. And
at the time, you think about it, Nike was only known really for running shoes and maybe tennis shoes.
Yeah, and they weren't even that big into tennis at that point. They were basically a running shoe because he had created that waffle pattern on his waffle maker. Yeah. And that was what it was specifically for, was for running.
Yeah. So it was funny. I think their most popular selling shoe at that point had sold maybe 2 million units or whatever. And the Air Jordan 1, when it came out, sold 120 million units. So when they brokered the deal and Michael's mom pushed to get him a cut of every shoe ever sold with his name on it.
So a royalty,
as
opposed to a contract,
right? And so he got the contract,
but
so you get an annual,
yeah.
And then she's like, no, we want a cut of every shoe ever sold with his name on it, or every product ever sold with his name on it. Of course, Phil Knight's walking into it going, really? Our best-selling shoe only sells 2 million units.
Yeah.
How much can we actually have to pay out?
Yeah.
And then they deliver 120 million shoes.
Well, and as far as business organization, that is the best possible outcome for both of them.
Yeah.
Because Phil Knight's looking at minimal downside if they don't sell.
Right.
Because he's getting a better deal negotiated a better annual deal for the amount per shoe.
Right.
And Michael Jordan is looking at it the other way around, going, yeah, I'm giving up a little bit here, but look at the possible upside.
Yeah.
And he made that upside happen.
Which I look at that whenever I'm booking shows for our band.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Obviously I love a guarantee. Who doesn't? You just say, hey, you're going to be guaranteed $1,000 for the show, or $1,500, $2,500, whatever it happens to be.
Right.
Those are awesome. Yeah, it's great to get a guarantee, but there's a lot of venues that can't afford to do that.
Right.
And so my pitch to them is always, hey, instead of doing a door deal where we charge $5 or $10 at the door, or whatever it happens to be, because that doesn't really give either side. I guess it gives us more side to push and market the show, but it doesn't really give the venue reason to market it, because we're making the door, they're not making anything off the door, so
right.
why do they care?
Right.
So it's a little one-sided there, and I get it. A guarantee is really one-sided on their part.
Sure.
On their part, so it's kind of that whole thing. Well, I always pitch them on, hey, give us a percentage of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me 20% of the bar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if we don't do a door and we get people in there and we get them drinking, both sides make money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that I feel like that's a win-win for both of us, because then they want to market it because they want to get people in. We want to market it because we want to get people in.
And we know our crowd, and they're drinkers.
So, yeah. And it's funny. Places always get really...
We're getting a signal from behind the camera.
Yeah.
It says more light required.
More light required?
Flash may help. I don't know if you want to stop it and maybe look at it.
No.
It looks good.
No.
As long as it looks good.
As good as we're going to look, it'll look fine. Is it still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not worried about it.
Okay. It still looks good from the screens, but just so you know.
Sorry, we had a producer moment there.
That's what he's here for. He's here to tell us the technical.
Bullshit. I'm here to smoke cigars and drink beer.
By the way, what are you drinking over there? That looks like a tasty beverage, my friend.
It's what you gave me or forced upon me.
He has got a beer you cannot get in Oklahoma. I'm sure people in Texas and Arkansas, Missouri will know this beer really well, especially the people up in Montana, but it's a Montucky Cold Snack.
That's right.
The unofficial official beer of Montana.
The one of the best cheap beers I've had in a long time.
Man, it's one that, you know, the hipsters haven't ruined yet.
That's
of course,
right.
we haven't gotten it here, but I mean, other states I go to, you can still pick it up for little or nothing, which is great.
Yeah,
and it's a wonderful beer.
It is. It's really good. It's really good. I'm sure we'll get a picture of it on screen because I'll probably take a picture of it at some point. But yeah, it's a very, very tasty beer. Now it's a lager.
Yeah,
it's not a nice hefty beer like a good stout.
Right.
Because I like a beer I can chew. Well, I had some interesting shows last week. I did some stand-up in Oklahoma City and Broken Arrow. Oklahoma City, I was at Bricktown Comedy Club.
Oh, great place.
Love that room. Love the people there. They are amazing. And it was a specialty show, a one-off, because they had Miss Pat in for the rest of the weekend.
Oh boy! Oh, that was a treat.
We have some stories about Miss Pat.
Yes, we do.
I will hesitate to tell them because a lot of people seem to like her.
Yeah.
But they haven't met her. But I was at Bricktown, and it was one of those. I got the call about a week before the show that I was going to be on the show. I said, no problem, I can be there. Blah blah blah. It was a 5-comic show.
Okay.
And so none of the 5 comics were listed on the program. None of the 5 comics were on a poster or anything. So I assumed it was 5 comics, all about the same level, all doing about the same time. So I get there, and the door guy, or the sound guy, who is new, asked me what I want to go up to. And I hate that question. I hate it when I get asked, what song do you want to go up to?
Wagon Wheel.
Because I don't know. I honestly don't care. I've told people in the past, I don't care, and they brought me up to It's Raining Men. I'm like, you don't realize
Green
I can
Acres.
play with that.
Yeah.
Green Acres would be
Right.
fine. Anything. The problem I have is I think of songs and I don't remember whether they have great intros or not. Because there are a lot of good songs that are slow to start, and you don't want that for a walk-up song.
No.
So anyway, came up with one, Bad to the Bone. It's boring. I mean, it's as cliche as you can get, but came up with one. And then he goes, how much time when do you want me to give you your light? And that's how comics know when it's getting close to the end of their time, is when they get a light to call it. And I said, well, how much time am I doing? I was expecting to do 15 or 20. There are going to be 5 comics. It's going to be an hour and a half show. No, he goes, oh, everybody else is doing 15. You're closing at 30.
Nice.
I'm like, dude, I'm headlining. Nice. I can deal with this. I like that. And they were a great crowd. They were awesome.
Oh,
So
that's a nice surprise.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. They were a good crowd. It was a good night.
Did it thunder this time?
It did not thunder this time. If you haven't seen that video, go look at my reels on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you will see the time God heckled me with a little thunder.
You literally could not have timed that.
No.
Perfect.
Could
I
not.
mean, it was absolutely the most. What's funny is, like, say, I've heard you tell that joke 1,000 times, and so I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, so what is what's going to be the shtick here? What's going to be so different that's going to make me laugh?
Right.
Holy mackerel! I belly laughed whenever that happened. I was just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that is amazing.
Couldn't have happened at a better moment, and couldn't have happened in the middle of a better joke to play off of. It's one of those things, when you're handed a gold mine, you don't say no thank you.
Right.
You take it and you run with it. But yeah, Thursday night was a great show, and then Friday night I was out at the New Orleans Theater over in Broken Arrow and had a great night out there. They were my audience. They were all middle-aged bikers. So
Perfect.
Middle-aged, blue collar. I mean, that is right down my wheelhouse.
They didn't sell a single Bud Light all night long, did
Not
they?
at all. Not at all. In fact, there were several comments about that.
That just has to be one of the craziest things it seems like we get this stuff on a regular basis now, where somebody, whether it be the media or whatever, is trying to pit everybody against each other.
Yeah.
And it seems to be like carrying over into things as simple as like a freaking beer.
Well,
Because everybody's too sensitive about everything.
What you have is you have corporations who are trying to pander to everybody.
Right.
But in the process of pandering to everybody, they forget who their core audience is sometimes.
Yeah.
And that is the perfect example of that. Because, I mean, Coors has done a Pride Week.
Yeah.
Everybody does that. And it feels shallow every time somebody does it. Every time some corporate account puts a rainbow flag up for their little image, it feels like corporatism.
Yeah.
It feels like they're just, not that they're bowing to anybody, but they are just trying to play to everybody.
They're just trying to make a buck out of something, and it is. They're just using. But like I say, I don't know. It's crazy to me.
This one was different. It's been different for a while because I'm sorry. I love and respect many trans people. I know it's very cliche to say I have trans friends, but I do. I have people in my phone book. I have people that I call, that I talk to regularly. I have people that I sit down and smoke cigars with that are trans that I have zero problem with.
Right.
Zero problem with those people. The problem is, in my opinion, the trans community that is pushing this weirdness of getting kids to make transitions younger and younger and doing the drag nights. I'm sorry, drag shows are adult shows.
True.
I love a good drag show. I have been going to drag shows in New Orleans since I was old enough to get in. Now, back then, they wouldn't let you in if you were too young.
Yeah.
But I have been going to drag shows forever. I love drag shows. They are so much fun. You have not seen entertainment until you see a good full-blown drag show. But they're not for kids. And somehow Budweiser missed the memo
Yeah.
and made Dylan Mulvaney the face of Budweiser for March Madness. Dylan Mulvaney is a TikToker.
I don't know who that is, so.
They are a TikToker
Okay.
who decided to come out as gay, and then decided to come out as bi, and then decided to come out as trans, and started doing this, documenting every day of girlhood. Dylan is more of a caricature of a trans person than an actual trans person.
Yeah.
They may be actually trans. They may actually feel like they're in the wrong body. But the thing is, the way they're going about it, they're doing it like a shtick, like they're play acting, and it is so non-genuine that it is painful. And yet they keep getting embraced. They went to the White House to visit with President Biden because they were a TikTok sensation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Every trans person I know would rather be a number in a system where nobody notices
right.
that they are transitioning than what he, she, they, what Dylan is doing. So Budweiser just shot themselves in the foot with that. They took somebody that was famous or infamous and tried to make them the face of their marketing, not realizing that they're trying to get the 21 to 25 year olds to drink Bud Light, while forgetting that the 35 to 70 year olds are the ones
their
that
core demographic
are their core demographic, and they're not happy.
Again, I think it's just pandering.
It is.
It's corporate pandering. It frustrates me to see stuff like that because, again, I just treat everybody as equals. I treat everybody how they want to be treated. That's the way I was raised. I was raised, by a family that's the way you do. You treat people how they treat you and how they deserve to be treated. And again, I don't care. That's what we've talked about at cigar bars, is the fact that we love the fact that you can be any race, sexual orientation, whatever, and it's just about hanging out, having a cigar, and having a drink, and having a great conversation. I don't care what you are.
There are going to be people that disagree with you.
Yeah.
But guess what? As a white, conservative, cisgendered male, there are people that disagree with me, and we have a great time talking over cigars.
I like it when people disagree with me because it creates a good debate back and forth, and you can have a healthy discussion. And 9 times out of 10, I learned something that I didn't know about the other person's opinion.
Absolutely.
And even if I don't do a full, switch over and agree with them, it makes me respect them more because they have a good argument for why they believe the way they do. And I have no problem with that.
And I think that cigar lounges and places that you sit around and smoke a cigar and chit chat are a throwback to an earlier day when you could actually have a conversation.
Yeah.
And not walk away hating the other person.
Yeah.
Walk away going, that was a great conversation. I can't wait till we get together and have cigars again and discuss whatever again.
Yeah, that wasn't a sound effect, by the way. That was a Oklahoma pickup that has no muffler on it.
You gotta love vehicles that sound faster than they are.
That guy sounds like the guy that I saw in one of those videos that he ran into his beer fridge and grabbed out all of his Bud Light and then ran past his big monster truck like that and poured it all out and threw it away and made a big deal about it. I'm like, guys, one, you're just throwing away money.
Right.
It's cold beer.
Right.
And
not that
beer
Bud being a relative term.
I would say Bud Light's never been a great beer. So.
What was it? I saw somebody post something that said, who was surprised that Bud Light chose the image of a trans person when it has been water pretending to be beer for
forever.
Years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the same reaction when I saw Kid Rock's video where he was shooting all the Bud Light with his automatic.
And he missed gun. How many of them? Like, you have a machine gun.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude.
Well, have you ever tried to aim a machine gun?
Yes.
It sucks. But my only thought was, who purchased the Bud Light that you're shooting?
Right. They probably gave it to him.
Probably.
And in order to get him to film the video. That would be.
That wouldn't surprise me if they played both
PR.
sides. Yep.
They haven't had something this big in how long?
Right.
Yeah.
And now it just stands out. It's crazy. It's funny. I saw one of our bands that we do shows with out of Texas. They're sponsored by Miller Lite, so they put up something going, hey, we want to welcome all the new Miller Lite drinkers. Thank y'all for coming out to the show. Well, then they get attacked on Facebook.
Of course.
With all the comments. And one guy goes, ha ha ha, real funny. Miller Lite's owned by Bud Light. And I'm like, no, it's Molson Coors.
That's right.
It actually is not owned by them. And Bud Light's not even an American product anymore. It is owned by a European company.
That's
so.
Right.
InBev.
America.
You, sir, are getting fact checked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're going to boycott all of their products, that's more than half the beer on the market, right? InBev owns how much?
Yeah, but it's not the good half. No, I say that. I apologize, Bud. If you are Anheuser-Busch, if you are listening, we will gladly accept a sponsorship for the band, for me as a comedian, for the Smokey Guys, for I don't care what you want to sponsor as long as I get either beer or money.
Preferably money. So I can go buy good beer. No, I kid. They, a lot of these big companies now, especially, it's amazing how they've started buying up a lot of the craft breweries because they've realized what a big market that's becoming, and so they're trying to get their foothold into there. And some of the craft brews that I used to really love, like Revolver out of Texas. They do that Blood and Honey. I was really sad to see it got bought out, but now it's it's still a great beer, and maybe with them having having wider distribution and stuff, people now get to try it and appreciate it as much as I do.
Yeah, but then you can't be a hipster about it.
That's right.
Oh, you haven't tried the one I like. It's made by a monk in a castle in 13th century France. They only ship 3 cases a year, and I get a case every year.
Yeah.
And you haven't tried beer until you can't have one because I only have a case, but you haven't tried beer until you've had this.
Yeah, someone got my last Montucky, by the way. So, dang, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to make a trip to Arkansas.
I would say if only Arkansas were so far away.
I used to love it because we finally have Yuengling here in Oklahoma, but I'd always drive over to Siloam Springs and buy. I'd just fill up my truck bed full of cases of Yuengling and bring it back. And I stopped at one of the stores one day, and I walked in, and I just literally bought every case they had. And as the guy's wheeling it out on his 2-wheeler, he's like, "You do realize that this is bootlegging." And I was like, "It's only bootlegging if I sell it. This is personal consumption. Yeah, You've never seen me drink beer."
That's right. This is personal consumption volume.
Chances are most of the highway patrol would pull me over and go, "Yeah, that's about right for you."
Have you ever had Full Sail?
Yes.
So years ago, we went to Moab, me and a buddy. I guess I'm.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
You're in.
We went to a liquor store when we were out there, and he grabbed a grocery cart and filled it with this Full Sail pale ale. And I was like, "Is that what we're drinking this week?" He goes, "Oh no, this is mine." I was like, "All right." So I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Speaking of Moab, you introduced me to a video that I thought was hysterical. You probably haven't seen it. It is Whistling Diesel on YouTube.
Have not.
Whistling Diesel is notorious for buying and destroying vehicles. That's his thing is on YouTube, is he destroys vehicles. And Heavy D, which is Heavy D Sparks from the Diesel Brothers.
Okay.
Did you ever watch that?
Still out on that.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, they are a couple of guys, well, a whole bunch of different guys, but they're out of Utah. And Heavy D has made a mint on his diesel truck business and lots of other businesses. And so he has all the money for all the toys he could possibly want. So he has this thing called the Brodozer, which is a rock crawler, almost a purpose-built rock crawler. And it can go anywhere, do anything. Whistling Diesel shows up with a almost stock G-Wagon.
Yeah.
Mercedes G-Wagon. And they're going through Moab. And, I mean, Whistling Diesel is just running this thing like there's no tomorrow. Had no trouble with 90% of Moab. What was the Devil's Highway, Devil's Valley?
Hell's Revenge.
Hell's Revenge.
Yeah.
Hell's Revenge has broken many a truck.
Yeah.
Many a truck has been hauled out of Hell's Revenge because it's one of those that you almost have to run your sidewalls to get up it. And Whistling Diesel's in this virtually stock. In fact, it was low profile tires.
Oh, wow.
Not real low profile, but lower profile tires on this G-Wagon. And he just goes right up it. It impressed. What he could do in that G-Wagon was impressive, right up until he broke a couple of axles.
Yeah.
And I
will say that he did have a tune on that motor.
Yes, he did.
He had a little over 100 or 1,000 horsepower.
Yes.
And he had, I think, a 2-inch lift on it. But that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was it, man.
Wow.
They weren't like off-road tires or, real knobby tires.
Nope, they were not. Not. It was funny. So look that up on YouTube. That's a fun video to see because it's kind of wild what he put that truck through and what it survived and then when it didn't.
And being there, seeing what he did, very impressive. Very, very impressive.
Yes. If you've ever actually been out to Moab and seen those sites in person and watched trucks try it, it's even more impressive.
Very cool. I'll have to check it out. I get so I am like so out of touch on most things. I think it's just
You're old.
I think it is. You know, I mean, or I'm lazy, whatever. I just don't go search things out until someone, you know, again has to show it to me, and oh yeah, that's great, that's awesome. I'll probably never look it up again, but
Yeah. You never know. You never know. Oh
man, great sticks.
yeah,
You're burning
very
through that
good.
one actually much faster than I thought.
I've smoked this one before, so I knew it was a quicker smoke than it looks like.
Yeah.
A buddy of ours is a big LFD guy, and he smokes those LFD diggers.
Yeah.
And they're a little smaller ring gauge than these. I'm trying to remember what ring they are, but they are like 9 inches long.
Yeah.
They're big. They're big
They're
smokes.
probably what, 60 ring gauge, maybe.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And this one's probably at
Looks
least
every bit of a maybe 70.
70?
I was gonna say 70.
I was going to guess 70. I'd have to look it up to see what it is. But those diggers, you got a big one there?
Hey,
That's yeah.
Yeah, that's not a small one. Those diggers are a good 3-hour smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, they last. Even as quick as I smoke, and I have a tendency to smoke quick. If I'm not talking on camera, I'll just sit here and puff, 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 puff.
I had a new LFD product that they just came out with called the Solis. Had one of those Saturday before our show.
Is that Steve Solis, the guy that worked with Davidoff?
Yeah,
it is
Yeah.
a collaboration.
it is a collab. Yeah,
I thought he was exclusive to Davidoff.
I guess not. This is the
Wow.
first thing he's done for LFD, and I'm telling you, he nailed it.
Did he?
It smokes. It's a really, really good, high quality smoke.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get my hands on one of
Search
those.
it out. They're really good.
How much was it?
15 maybe.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah,
at all.
no, it's right in that price point that anybody can smoke it
Yeah.
and enjoy it and not feel like they've spent a small fortune like
Yeah.
the Year of the Rabbit that just came out from Placencia. It's $55.
55.
Wonderful smoke, but man, it's just hard to do that all the
Have you
time.
had it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Because they're supposed to have that event, and they're like a
Yeah, there's an event coming up at Omerta
yeah.
on Friday,
Friday?
the 21st, 20 something, right? Anyway,
Don't get me lying.
I know, I can't tell you, but yeah, they're gonna release them there
Yeah.
at that event. One of our other locals has them and has them out, and really good smoke.
Yeah,
Kind of like at fall that they came out with. Oh, it's like $65. Wonderful.
yeah.
It's not an everyday smoke.
I've got one sitting in my locker. I just need to smoke it. Need to have a good excuse to.
Oh, let's see, what's a good excuse? Anytime.
Well, my wife doesn't quite agree. She seems to think that if I spend over $50 on a cigar, it needs to be a special occasion.
There you go. Yeah, no, I totally understand.
Most of the time, I don't tell her what I spend on cigars, but every once in a while, she finds out.
Man, what a great night. This is awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We're probably going to cut this one a little short. I think I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Anything else you had on your mind?
Nope, I think I've pretty much aired all of it. My mind is now empty. Go figure. Kind of like usual.
Well, we have a couple of good weeks coming up. We've got another gig next weekend. We get to play for a wedding for a Marine Corps friend of ours.
Yes,
Not that we were in the Marine Corps.
No.
He was in the Marine Corps, and he's a friend of ours.
but he's got a really cool movie you might want to search out that's going to be coming out. I don't know what we're looking at release date wise, but you can catch some shorts that are out there now and some behind the making of
Yes.
stuff that they've released, but it's called 17 Carvings. And we met him at a Marine's birthday party that they do. The Marine Corps always has their big annual birthday party, and we got a chance to play for an event here locally, and got to meet a whole bunch of Marines, and got to find out this backstory of these chainsaw carvings, and And it's just, I think it's gonna be really cool. I can't wait to see the finished product.
It should be a spectacular movie. His brother is a movie maker, and he got into woodworking as kind of a coping mechanism, if you will, and has done some amazing things with that, and has been all over the country visiting families of fallen soldiers. And so it's a spectacular production. It should be a great movie when it comes out. So we get the honor of doing that next weekend, and then we've got a casino weekend coming up. And
the 21st, I believe, is a Friday, and we'll be up at Osage Casino in Bartlesville. So if you're in that area and this has come out by then, come hang out with us. Come have a cigar and listen to us bang on guitars for a few hours.
And if you're watching this and going, I'm not anywhere close to Oklahoma, then let us know. Shoot me an email at booking@crparsons.com, or shoot an email to the
band
Smokey
page.
Guys.
Or Smokey Guys, yeah. We got the Smokey Guys, smokeyguys@gmail.com.
There you go.
You can throw one there. Booking at Kevin Price Band. You can find us there. There's all kinds of places you can find us.
You can find us all over the place.
So,
all over the place.
Look us up on all the social medias. Like I say, at Kevin Price Band, and you'll get the band stuff.
At CR Parsons Comedy or Comedian, depending on the social media, you can find me. And we'll see y'all next week. Whenever we record next. It may be a couple of days from now.
You never know.
Find something interesting to talk about.
But until then,
thank you guys for joining us, and
stay smoky.
smoky.